what he's planning, but we do know it's big. And it's scheduled to go down tomorrow at 7 a.m. on national TV.
Dynamite. Chronolite. Dynamite.
I am ready.
It's that time of the week again, man.
It is that time of the week.
Feel secure now that I'm here.
As a matter of fact, I feel pretty well protected.
That's what I do.
You inspire me. You fill me with confidence and hope.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Where do these picks, man?
I am.
Well, hold up. What week is it now? We didn't probably introduce the episode.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Flashback Comics and Patrick Michael Strange bring you to the Flashback Comics Picks of the Week. This is the part where we drop on you what our picks of the week are. We're going to talk about. I'm rambling here. I'm
He's thrown off, man.
I am.
I'm Captain
I am.
Asia. Captain America in the house. Patrick Michael Strange, Troy David Phillips. Flashback Comics to release Wednesday. The Picks of the Week show, as you said. So let's just get right to it. We got the meat and potatoes out there. Our normal breakout, they're with it. So let's get right to it. What you got?
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Well, to start with, Patrick.
Or should I go?
Well,
did you want me to lead you in?
Oh no, I got this.
Okay.
I got this.
I'm the first Avenger. I'm gonna go out there.
Well, we'll talk about that later.
All right, well, let's go.
So to start with, Amazing X-Men.
Yes.
Issue number 8. Now, in the Amazing X-Men, you remember the first story arc spotlighted Nightcrawler and bringing Nightcrawler back to life.
Yes.
Well, Nightcrawler's back with this, and now he's actually got his own regular series in addition to being in the X-Men lineup again. But now we're looking at World War Wendigo. I'm curious to see how this is going to play out because, as you know, Wolverine, who's right there on the cover in the grips of Wendigos, Wolverine has lost his healing factor. So that's a bad thing to be surrounded by that many cannibalistic monsters from the north.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see how this is going to go down.
I've always enjoyed when they've had them battle each other.
Look at that. Look at that. Nice little shot there.
There you go.
Colossus and Nightcrawler, It's touching, and definitely I love having Nightcrawler back. A favorite X-Man of mine. I actually do own a copy of Giant-Sized X-Men #1. I don't think it's quite as nice as the 9.8 copy that you have. But,
well, going back to the Incredible Hulk 181, the first appearance of Wolverine, where he's fighting Wendigo, it's always been a classic. That battle, and then with the Hulk thrown in there. I like how they kind of played off of the World War Hulk with World War Wendigo.
World War Wendigo,
That's pretty sweet.
exactly. So kicking off that story arc is Amazing X-Men issue number 8. You want to pick that up?
Okay, and Ed McGuinness on the pencils, Chris Yost on there, Crane Kyle on the writing shores. Good stuff, man.
Yeah,
Good
it's a
pick.
house full of talent from the House of Ideas.
All right, I'm going to keep it Amazing X-Men. I have annual #1, Amazing X-Men annual #1, from Nero, LaRocca, and Obach. Storm is basically bringing the team out to Africa. There's some trouble going on with her family. So, ever since she had her divorce, her separation from Black Panther, I've liked how they've kind of brought her back to Africa to kind of get into her roots and find herself a little bit more since that separation. And apparently there's something that's going to happen to some of her family members. I'm not going to give it away, but it's going to tie into, a lot about what we love about Storm and where she's going as a character. And as well as the series. So definitely check out Amazing X-Men annual #1, highlighting Storm, and she also bringing some of the guys with her.
Yeah.
So,
well, it is the Amazing X-Men, so it wouldn't be the same if it was just one character.
Exactly, Troy.
So,
I see you have my comic there.
As a matter of fact, Patrick,
Your next pick.
I appreciate you coming in the Star-Spangled uniform there of Captain America.
I had to.
Often
I
called
represent at the Hot Dog Challenge.
Often called the first Avenger, although technically, Thor is the oldest, so he should actually be the first Avenger. Thor is, of course, the Norse mythological god of thunder. We would have had a Thor long before there was ever an America.
Well, I wouldn't say that though. He was a god on another world. I would say Iron Man would be more the actual first Avenger personally. Because without his capital to get everybody together, and let's go ahead. Let's test the lineup. Who is the original cast of the Avengers there, Troy?
It was Iron Man,
and
Thor,
and
the Ant-Man, and the Wasp, and the Incredible Hulk.
There you go.
Of course, Captain America was still frozen in ice at the time. He would have been there if he could have been.
Exactly.
But he was waiting for Prince Namor to find his iceberg and throw it into the Atlantic so he could get thawed out, and Giant Man could reach up there and pull him into the sub and say, hey, look what I found.
Which issue was that he finally made his first appearance in the title?
Well, that was actually Avengers number 4. That was Avengers number 4.
There you go.
Interesting, because the Submariner's return from the Silver Age of Comics was in Fantastic Four number 4.
Really?
Yes, it was.
That's a good bit of knowledge. I was testing you a little bit, and then you came back and hit me with some knowledge there, Troy.
Well, you know. And, of course, it was the Submariner who was instrumental in getting Cap into the drink.
Yeah.
So the two Golden Age characters, although funny, Stan Lee had forgotten his attempt at reviving Captain America in the 1950s when he was Captain America Commie Smasher.
Yes.
Very right-wing, very jingoistic. It was very apropos to the time.
But that was a different Captain America.
Roy Thomas eventually fixed that whole thing and gave us the secret origin of the other Captain America.
Exactly.
That's a tale for another time.
There you go. What we got, Troy?
This is Captain America for now.
Yes.
As in all new Marvel.
Marvel now.
Yes, indeed. Now, this is Captain America, issue number 21. This is the latest installment, part 5 of the Iron Nail. We've seen some pretty interesting things coming out of Captain America here since they've changed the creative team, and we've gotten that new villain, Dr. Mindbubble. Remember him? Mm-hmm. And we've had the shifts in the supporting cast. A little more focus on Jet Black there. The artwork, though, and the action are still quite amazing. Captain America still, hand in hand with S.H.I.E.L.D. there. Been run through his paces. The villains that they've come up with, it's like they're trying to introduce villains that will be signature for the 21st century. You know, we've seen Arnim Zola, we've seen MODOK, the Red Skull, etc. And I think they're trying to give us some new regular staple characters now, in addition to the old guard. But the Iron Nail's been a pretty good story arc. It's definitely one you want to pick that up in your read pile.
All right, shout out to Nick Klein, who's the new artist on the title. He looks very Laniel Yu-ish.
He does a little bit. He does a little bit.
So
and
I had to see who
certainly
the artist was there.
and I would say that in a complimentary way.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Nick Klein, he's holding it down.
I know that on a personal level, there are artists who don't like to be compared to other artists, and I would certainly say to any one of them, I mean that in the most complimentary fashion.
All right, great pick there, Troy.
So what do you got for me there, Patrick?
I got something for my little princess. Because, there's not very many titles out there for our little young ones out there. There's Kaboom's has a... Boom has that Kaboom imprint, and there's some little bit of stuff here and there.
Well, we have been looking at things like My Little Pet Shop and Teen Titans.
There's starting to be a spike. We had the My Little's Pet Shop. We have the My Little Pony.
Yeah.
But I'm always glad to see more.
Always looking at the Scribblenauts was another one. Always looking to see more, and it looks like Oni Press is giving us something.
Yes, from Ted Nafay. This is was very popular with the Courtney Crumrin books that came out, and this is his upcoming title called Princess Ugg. And, it's kind of like a little Red Sonja, if you will. I'm a huge fan of Courtney Crumrin, who is kind of like a supernatural storyline book that he did. There's a bunch of books that, they put together collecting a lot of the comics. And I'm a huge fan. So now seeing him kind of do something fantasy-based and with like a warrior girl, female, I'm all about it. Because my daughter, she's a big Wonder Woman fan. She's big into the fantasy, the swords and sandals type of stuff. All about her princesses, those Disney princesses. So, Princess Ugg, princess, anything with princess in the title, she's going to want to check out.
Well, someday we'll
check
have
it out from Oni Press.
We'll have to have her on the show so we can ask her what her thoughts were on Little Red Sonja.
Yes.
Because I know you picked up one of those for her.
I did.
You don't let me come visit you, so I've never been able to ask her how she liked that.
You'll want to check after he leaves your house because things end up missing. That's why. So, what's your next title there, Chuck?
This guy.
All right.
Okay. So, the Bombshell covers from DC Comics, they all look amazing.
Yes.
But Action Comics number 32. Greg Pak has been on the writing chores on this book, and the stories have just been incredible. I actually enjoy the entire Superman family right now. Superman Doomed, Action Comics, Superman Wonder Woman, Batman Superman. It's all pretty incredible, and I'm cracking it open there so you could see a little bit on the inside. You got Scott Collins on the art chores.
Oh yeah, he's
and
awesome.
I always enjoy Scott Collins.
Yes.
We're following now. The Action Comics 32 is coming off the heels of the Superman Doomed Infected story arc. Infected should wrap itself up there in the final issue of Superman before moving to its next chapter. But Superman action is already picking up and moving along dynamically. Let's show them the big green explosions. I love big green explosions. In a Superman title, a big green explosion makes me think that something bad is about to happen.
Yes, sir.
It usually does mean something bad for
that
our
real
Man
quick.
of Steel. Yeah, look at that.
I want to shout out DC Direct in regards to these bombshell covers. DC Direct has the statue line.
Yep.
They're doing these statues of all these various superhero female characters, bombshell characters. If you want one, let Troy know. We can get some of these bombshell statues in store for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, so
Patrick's getting a complete
Supergirl.
set for his sitting room.
Good pick there, Troy.
Alrighty.
I'm keeping it on my little girl bandwagon.
I understand
More stuff
this.
for her. I've always been a fan of Franco and Art Baltazar. This is them coming back. We had the Tiny Titans series there for a while, then it went away. Now they're coming back with this, I think it's a 6-issue miniseries called Return to the Treehouse. Basically, Superman and Supergirl return back to their superhero hangout treehouse, and it's not there anymore. We see a visit from the Swamp Thing, and basically, the whole team is getting back together to find out what happened to their treehouse.
Their treehouse of justice.
I see we have Brainiac there involved. A lot of guest stars in there from the Titans and all of that. So a lot of fun in this title. Art Baltazar Franco doing a bang-up job. Fun title all the way through and through. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Tiny
And,
Titans return to the treehouse. Get it.
Yes, indeed.
I'll be enjoying
nice,
this with the little
nice
one.
companion to Teen Titans Go.
Yes.
If you also are looking for that.
Another
as an
great
all-ages
title, great show as well.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's plenty of all ages stuff these days.
I needed a channel. I'm forgetting my man's name. The green guy.
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy. During
Also
the hot dog
Changeling.
challenge, man.
Oh, yeah.
AKA the Changeling.
Yes.
He threw down some hot dogs, if you remember that classic episode
Well,
on the
sure.
show.
But when we were teenagers, Patrick,
Yeah.
we all ate much, much, much more because
We
our
did.
metabolisms were redlined
Except
all
Marc
the
Lutz.
time.
He's like an animal. He's a cyborg. I
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what's wrong.
His teenage metabolism hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah. But I'm going to get him, though. I'm going to find something, and I'm going to beat this guy.
Yeah. Patrick, try to sleep at night. Try to sleep at
We
night.
do some Filipino food. We could throw down on some tocino or some longaniza.
You
egg rolls,
he
some
can eat-
lumpia.
He can eat that
What's up?
stuff too.
Can you throw down some lumpia, Mark?
Yes, he can.
Gas Sriracha?
All right, we'll see what happens.
So,
All right, what we got next, Troy?
so next up from Dynamite Entertainment.
Oh, wrong side.
No.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure
you're
I
giving him
wasn't-
chastity first.
I was giving him Chastity first.
Give him chastity.
Because now I love this character.
Yes.
Formerly of Harris Publications, Warren Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
She was an icon in the 1970s and has never really been forgotten. Vampirella.
Yes.
Dynamite has Vampirella, and they have had her for some time now, but they have launched her into a new ongoing series. I had previously been reading the Southern Comfort story arc, and now that ended.
Oh, before we go into the insert, isn't that an ode to one of the classic original comics?
It is.
I forgot who was the
If
first
I remember,
artist on
that was Frank Frazetta.
Yeah.
I think was on that first cover. I was so very much younger. I don't think you had been born yet.
Sorry, I respect the old stuff.
But yes, indeed. Yes, the word you want to use there is classic, Patrick. Classic. You're not going to make any friends using words like old. Okay.
At least not
so,
with you.
yes, indeed. Nancy A. Collins. Now, I'm not as familiar with her writing stuff. But I find it interesting that there's a female writer on this iconic female character. So I'm definitely interested to see what Ms. Collins has to offer. Maybe she's going to turn into another Gail Simone on Batgirl there and just sweep me off my feet and carry my heart away with her. We'll have to see. Vampirella has been, like I said, she's a classic character. She's very iconic in that costume design, but always a strong leading character in her series. Always very at the forefront of action, and the stories actually do have good action-oriented elements to them. Vampirella from the planet Draculon, using her vampiric powers for good instead of evil. Did you read the Vampirella versus Dracula series?
No, but I do have pictures of you in the Vampirella costume at the house.
No, that's actually...
I can link it on there.
Those are
Test
all
me.
photoshopped,
I'll put
people.
'em out there.
Those are all photoshopped. So, Vampirella #1. 8 great variant covers of that this week.
Good stuff.
You want to drop in and pick
there's
that?
some amazing covers there. All right, I'm going to keep it on the female superhero train. and go to my buddy, my man, Jimmy Palmiotti, Painkiller Jane and the 22 Brides, issue number 1 dropping this week from Marvel Icon imprint. There's some stuff in here you gotta watch out. You know, Jimmy likes to deliver and he doesn't hold anything back. And so some of this stuff is not safe for kids here, but some good stuff. Painkiller Jane, 22 Brides, they go all out. That's why it's not exactly under the Marvel imprint, it's under the Icon imprint. I'm not going to give you too much inside. I'm going to save that fun stuff for you guys later, but for all you adult fans that like that kind of shtick, I enjoy it. I'm a big fan of the Painkiller Jane series, and then mixing it with his other creation, the 22 Brides, good stuff. They're teaming up together to face some stuff in New York. I'm going to be picking up this title with a quickness, Troy.
Yeah, well, you know, Marvel's Icon imprint has had some very good titles in it, not least of which, you know, Kick-Ass.
Yes.
And I believe Secret Service was
yeah, those were all part of the Icon imprint, Malala World stuff.
So, yeah, definitely. Again, like you said, definitely more mature sensibilities. Definitely stuff for the older reader there, unlike your other 2 picks, which were all ages. So, but don't let that stop you. When you're of adult sensibilities, Painkiller Jane, pick that up.
All right, what's your top pick there, Troy?
Top pick this week from me. DC Comics partnering with Dynamite Entertainment to bring us Batman and the Green Hornet. This is the first part of a 6-part miniseries from the partnering event. Classically, Batman in the 1966 series, there was a 2-part crossover with the Green Hornet, which was also on the air at the time. Van Johnson and Bruce Lee with Adam West and Burt Ward. They brought the 2 characters together. It was not enough to save the ratings for the Green Hornet show. Batman went on a little bit longer, but this is looking pretty incredible. The Batman 66 series has definitely followed along the stylings of the TV series. It has the comedic elements to it, the comedic writing style. The artwork is definitely reminiscent of that. They use a lot of the great characters. The Joker is in the style of Cesar Romero, but they also used Egghead and King Tut and some of the other characters from that. I'm interested to see what they do with the Green Hornet here, because Dynamite has been doing the Green Hornet in a much more serious context. Even in the TV series was more serious than Batman's, but not quite as edgy as it's been in the Dynamite comics of late. I find it interesting also that in the writing chores, along with Kevin Smith, is Ralph Garman. That was a name that completely threw me. I knew Ralph Garman as an actor. I really liked him in the Meet Joe Schmo fake reality show. I don't know if you ever saw that on Spike TV. It was incredible. But so Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, and Ty Templeton in the creative team on this. Batman 66 and the Green Hornet. I'm jazzed about this book.
Awesome. Great pick, Troy. Definitely second that pick. So I'm going to keep it, I'm going to take it from the TV side to the film side.
To the big screen.
In its classicness, because those are classic characters of all time, to one of my favorites from the 80s. Big Trouble in Little China from Boom Studios. John Carpenter,
yes,
who created the series,
yes,
is working with Eric Powell, that we know from The Goon, so an awesome classic team up there. And Trurella is on the Archers. Brian Trurella on the Archers. Just some good stuff. It's basically continuing on the storyline from the film. We have Pork Chop Express, my man, Kurt Russell's character. What was his name?
Jack Burton.
Jack Burton. Yes, it was slipping me, man. I'm sorry. I got so much in my head.
Patrick.
So Jack Burton, after he married his fiancée, the girl from Sex and the City,
Kim Cattrall.
Kim Cattrall.
She was Gracie Law.
We're coming from the wedding from here. Hey, hold up. So basically, there's some people still not too happy about what went down in the film. So we're getting some original story. We're seeing what happened. We're getting our sequel that we didn't get on the big screen in the comic. So John Carpenter is in there. He's allowed this to happen. Working with Eric Powell, that we love from The Goon, and Brian Trurella on the Archers. I'm dying to read this, dude.
Oh my God, Patrick, come on! Can you just not hear the immortal words when the rain is coming down in sheets thicker than lead, and the lightning's flashing, and the thunder's roaring, and some 8-foot-tall maniac wraps the back of your favorite head up against the wall and says, "If you paid your dues," you tell him what Jack Burton always said: "Have I paid my dues? Yes, sir. The check is in the mail."
There you go. I guess I got to go pay my dues. my top pick of the week. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I do. I know we're both going to be sharing both books. Once he's done with Batman, I'm going to give him Big Trouble. I'm going to take the Batman. We're going to just go back and forth. We got so much to read, Troy.
Yeah, I'm going to go to Patrick's house because he's just buying 500 comics. And
All right. We got a lot to get to. We have our pop culture talk right after this. I'm going to throw it to my man, J.D. Rosario of Unstoppable Comics. He has his upcoming video game to his comic book line, Interceptor, and all that I'm going to show you right after this. Check out this awesome footage. It's classic 80s style side-scroller combat. You're going to enjoy this. Check it out.
Let's get to it.
All right, here we go. And then we'll be back with our pop culture talk. What is going on, y'all? We are back. I am Patrick Michael Strange and, of course, Troy David Phillips. We gave you our picks of the week, but we have some special guests for our pop culture talk. I have returning guest Kevin Goswan of ComicsOnline.com in the house. What's going on, Kev?
I'm glad to be back, Patrick. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And making his debut appearance, my man D. Beisch. I don't want to mess up that name. D.
Beisch.
Beisch.
Tomato, tomato.
It's random. Because it's TotallyRandomFandom.com, the Totally Random Fandom podcast in the house.
That's us.
Thank you for coming out there, sir.
That's Totally Random Fandom, all one word.
All one word.
www.com.
Yes, sir.
www.TotallyRandomFandom.com, ComicsOnline.com, Flashback Comics and Games.com.
Totally random.
There you go. PatrickStrange.com. Let me promote myself real quick. All right, y'all.
You have a .com?
Yes, sir. You can read my comics and see some of my films at my site, PatrickStrange.com. I got to plug myself again one time since you put it out there. All right, guys. Since we last saw each other, I had my man Kevin come out here for last week's talk, and we talked all about X-Men Days of Future Past. That was the big film that came out last week.
Mm-hmm.
But,
all about it.
Yeah.
But we missed one part, that ending part.
Yes.
You didn't notice the first time.
I didn't.
That Apocalypse.
My nerd
Spoilers
card,
if you haven't seen it.
I was staring at Apocalypse. He was so sexy.
You're staring at Apocalypse. Look at how skinny he is. Doesn't even look like the real Apocalypse. But whatever. It's not real Marvel anyway. But what you missed was his four horsemen there on the horizon.
I didn't see
and
it.
what I was thinking, Patrick, was that maybe the reason that our friend Troy David Phillips wasn't here last week is because one of those four horsemen of the apocalypse is pestilence, and that was his problem.
Well, you know, I was severely under the weather, so that might have had something to do with it. It definitely wasn't famine, it wasn't war, and thankfully it wasn't death.
All right, so since we didn't get your thoughts, we'll get D's and your thoughts on this.
Well, I know I've said a couple of times I got almost exactly what I thought I was going to get. I had amazing powerhouse talent in all the roles. Professor Xavier, portrayed by two incredible actors, James McAvoy and Patrick Stewart. Magneto, in his two incarnations, portrayed by Michael Fassbender. That is the Magneto that I have always wanted on screen.
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender's Magneto is it.
Yeah.
However, Sir Ian McClellan giving me the older, seasoned Magneto. Sir Ian McClellan is just amazing no matter what. once again, right there. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine knocks it right out of the park. He is an awesome Wolverine. Quicksilver. I was delighted with Quicksilver. I was absolutely delighted with Quicksilver. The battle sequences in the future with the future Sentinels, with Colossus and Blink and Sunspot and Iceman. That was Sunspot, by the way, was flying around with the blasts. And Bishop and Kitty Pryde. It was, people have actually asked me, it's like, who was that guy? They didn't recognize all of the future X-Men.
You know why people are confused? Because he's supposed to be Asian. They put like some other
No. Sunspot is South American.
That's
They
right.
confuse Sunfire. The people at Fox are like Sunfire, Sunspot, same guy. We'll just put them together.
Now here I go.
It's the
Yes.
the Brazilian Japanese guy, right? He does something with
Well, no, they've taken the character from his original power base and
New
they've
Mutants
expanded
guy.
on
He was a
it.
New Mutants guy, right?
He was New Mutants, yes.
Sunspot was
Yes.
New Mutants. Sunfire was X-Men.
Yes, sure.
There I go.
Yes.
Yes.
But in addition to that, then we go back to 1973, and there's Peter Dinklage as Bolivar Trask. And I just knew, Emmy Award-winning Peter Dinklage, this is going to be good. Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. This is actually going to work. I was impressed with the story. I was satisfied with the departures from the original material, and yet they managed to bring it all home toward the end. Did they change the future? I don't know, but they definitely reset the franchise. From here on out, some of the things that I might have disagreed with, smoothed over. Let's see what happens to the next film going forward, in which we got the teaser, we got the post-credit teaser, Apocalypse. And yeah, I got the goose flesh like everybody else did, thinking, all right, let's see what they do with Apocalypse. Let's see where this goes. And at first I thought, yeah, he does look thin, he does look underwhelming in comparison to his more majestic, epic comic book appearances. But then again, when we saw Apocalypse in the comics, that was present day. We had not seen what he looked like in ancient Egypt at that time. We didn't know that his history went back to ancient Egypt. All that retrocon has just been reformatted in the films.
All right. Your thoughts, D?
Hard to follow up a review like that. But X-Men First Class to me was the bar, and Days of Future Past managed to stay above bar there.
Okay.
So it was a fantastic outing. I actually saw it twice in a day.
Oh,
That's
really?
how much I liked it.
Wow. Favorite moment?
Favorite moment easily was Richard Nixon feeding the dogs.
How about you? Did you have a favorite moment?
I didn't have a single favorite moment, but there were definitely things, like I said, the first battle sequence with the future X-Men and the Sentinels, certainly with the introduction of the Quicksilver in the Pentagon. The Pentagon sequence, that was definitely high up there, but Magneto levitating the stadium, I love to see Magneto's epic majesty conveyed, and that was definitely there. I'm like,
Gotcha.
This is what the character is capable of. It's amazing.
If you didn't see mine and Kevin's review on it, tune into our last week's episode and also where it's going to go with the franchise, because I'm curious if you know about that yet. We talked about it last week. You're going to be surprised. But tune into our last week's episode to get that information. We'll talk on that. We'll fill you guys
Yeah,
in.
we need to round table that sometime.
All right, we'll do that. Coming out actually coming out last week was Maleficent, as well as the Wild West South
Million Ways to Die in the West.
Thoughts on that? Did you guys catch that at all?
I haven't had a chance to get out to the movies. Getting over being sick, having the anniversary with the wife and all. So.
Pestilence. How about you, KG?
I didn't see it yet, but my managing editor at Comics Online, Matt Cernacker, checked it out. He said he gave it 3 out of 5. He said that anybody who is a serious Seth MacFarlane fan is really going to enjoy it. But folks who are not quite as into that sort of thing will find that maybe his style doesn't quite translate to that particular genre. He said it was very funny, but they might have spent all their best moments in the trailer.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you guys do a trailer review of Maleficent?
I believe we have a review on comicsonline.com on both of those.
All right. Check it out. Totally Random Phantom, D, in the house.
I saw Maleficent.
Okay.
As a whole, film was a bit of a mess.
Okay.
But Angelina Jolie is just phenomenal
Yes.
in that role.
Totally agree.
Just amazing. Go see it for her.
All right. So a mess. You didn't like how they kind of gave you the backstory on Sleeping Beauty?
It dragged a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it dragged a little in parts, and I felt they could have picked up the pacing a little bit.
All right.
But I mean that's a minor gripe at
All right.
best.
Got you. I'll agree. There were some plot holes here and there, but visually amazing. And for me, Angelina Jolie, outstanding. I could not see anybody else in that role but her. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'll say it right now in front of you guys, and not be afraid, Troy David Phillips, because I know how he feels. I saw Godzilla, I saw X-Men Days of Future Past, but those are like the last 3 films, along with Maleficent, that I saw in the theaters. I am rushing to see Maleficent again. I thought it was better than the other 2, and it was amazing. The special effects. To me, the story had its holes, but it was overall a pretty damn good film. And
Better than Winter Soldier?
No.
Okay, good.
No. It's not better than Winter Soldier or Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it's up there.
All right.
To me, better than Godzilla and Days of Future Past, personally. It's because probably also have a little girl and we watch Sleeping Beauty like 24/7, so... Anyway.
Well, I can't judge it until I see it, so I'm going to wait. But I am going to see it, and I feel like I'm thoroughly going to enjoy it. Angelina Jolie is an amazing actress. She's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to see what she brings to the character.
All right.
However, I still feel like Godzilla is going to crush her like a grape on velvet.
Because he's a Godzilla fan. That's why he feels that way. All right. Next up, it was announced last week that Charlie Cox, who you know of Boardwalk Empire, that award-winning TV series, I think it's on HBO, it's on AMC, I think it's HBO, and he was also on Stardust. Charlie Cox, if you don't know this guy, he was on those 2 shows, and he will be our new Daredevil for the Netflix exclusive series starting next year in 2015. Are you guys familiar with Charlie Cox? Are you okay with this unknown? Did you agree that we should have gone with an unknown for the title role?
Personally, I'm reserving my judgment. I have high hopes for this series.
Yeah.
I mean, we have these wonderful Marvel movies tied together with a wonderful glue that is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes.
And now we're going to have Netflix series, 4 Netflix series,
Yes.
starting with Daredevil.
Yes.
I love the Daredevil character. I can't wait to see what happens.
All right. So going along with it, for those that are uninformed, we are getting Daredevil is going to be the first of the 4 13-episode Marvel shows. It's going to run along with Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, and Luke Cage, and all 4 of those shows will culminate in a new Defenders series.
I'm pretty excited about Daredevil. Like Kevin, I'm a Daredevil fan. Stan Lee, Wally Wood, Frank Miller, Kevin Smith, Joe Quesada, Mark Waid, it just goes on. A lot of powerful talent. Love the character. I've loved him all my life. I'm reserving my judgment on Cox. I want to see what he's capable of. I have no problem, however, with an unknown actor, or even an actor where you might not have necessarily thought of him in the role. Let's see what he can do. Let's see what he actually does. I have not been a Netflix subscriber up to this point, so I'm a little irritated about having to become a Netflix guy in order to get this. But, I've always been a cable subscriber, so when other people have been going to Netflix to get their movies, I was getting premium movie channels, so I didn't see...
Will this drive you to subscribe for new Marvel shows?
Yeah, it'll have to. It'll have to. And I almost wish that they weren't using that as an exclusive venue. I wish that there was more of a crossover for people that aren't Netflix subscribers. But that to the side, I'm interested in the property, not the venue.
All right, how about you, D?
Cox was a great choice.
Yeah?
He even looks like a Chris Samney drawing. Just that face, that jawline.
Yeah.
They're going to film it in New York City.
Yes.
I don't see how they could go wrong. And you've got Stephen DeKnight.
Yes.
Who did
He's the
Angel
showrunner, executive producer, Angel,
and
Buffy.
Dollhouse.
Yes.
And so you can't go wrong with this, I don't think.
It's an amazing lineup. And again, there was the whole announcement that it's going to be exclusively all shot in New York and all that. They have the backing of the city, which is awesome. They did a whole announcement with Marvel. So that's awesome. But again, with some more Marvel news, I have some actual sad news. Edgar Wright was the writer, producer, director behind the upcoming Ant-Man. They've casted pretty much the majority of the film, and now Edgar Wright is leaving because of creative differences with Marvel and the studio, and will no longer be involved. So now, they're supposed to start filming like very shortly, and now they lost their director. So thoughts on that from any of you guys?
Just really quickly, I feel that, I have had so many bad Marvel treatments in the past, so I certainly appreciate a director wanting to stick to his creative vision, but I have also seen the Marvel visions treated badly under a not comic person's creative ideas. So, if you can't stick to the Marvel source material, maybe you're not the right person for the job. Maybe we could just shake hands and part amicably, and someone could come on board who has a vision like Iron Man, like the Avengers, like Captain America, true to the source material.
Normally, I would agree with you, but because we've seen things like the Birds of Prey series,
Yes.
which was way too far away from the original source material. It got too far away, it got too weird, it was the wrong thing. But then again, you have Edgar Wright, somebody who is, he is a comic book guy. He is a fan. And so I really had faith in his vision. I don't know, I can't say I know what it was entirely, but I had faith that he was going to pull it out and make a good fan beloved event.
Yes. For those that don't know Edgar Wright, he was on Shaun of the Dead, which was phenomenal, but Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, which was a great graphic novel manga series, I think he amazingly interpreted that to the big screen. And from everything that I saw, even to the trailer that was dropped at San Diego Comic-Con, that little teaser that we have of Ant-Man going through the hallway, I thought we were on track. And he wrote the script and everything was... I'm a little surprised, but not surprised, because there's been some creative differences with a lot of creators and the big studio, because they're also owned by Disney, and Disney's controlling a lot of that. So, I don't want to go too much there, but... read it online.
If you're interested in learning more of the details, our rumors person Kim Filchak at comicsonline.com has got a couple of articles all about this.
All right, good plug there. D, any thoughts on the Ant-Man Edgar Wright fallout?
I'm going to go to comicsonline.com and read those rumors.
There you go. And he'll talk about it on totallyrandomfandom.com.
That's right.
All right. Next up, last but not least, I'm going to leave it with a bang. Josh Brolin will be Thanos in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Boom.
And then into eventually the Avengers 3 film. I think brilliant casting.
Boom.
He's got the chin.
Yeah.
He's in Sin City. He's done a lot of great films. He was in Old Boy. He was W. I'm a big fan of Josh Brolin. And he's all the way back to some of my old classics. He was in Goonies.
Right.
You can't go wrong with a Goonie.
Patrick, admit it. You saw Thrashing 2, didn't you?
Josh Brolin, your thoughts, guys.
All right. So the important thing is you've got the mad Titan Thanos. He's obsessed with death. Patrick, Goonies never say die. He might be wrong for this part.
That's a good one.
Just saying.
Just saying. What do you say?
I say yes to Josh Brolin. I honestly feel confident in his acting chops, and I feel like if he's given a good script, if he's given a good idea of what the character is, that he can actually, sort of sink himself into it, I think this could be a good mate. I honestly do, for both the Guardians and for the upcoming Avengers. Thanos is a villain, much like my love of Magneto. Thanos is one of those epic, majestic villains of very large scale. When you have the Hulk, Thor, Iron Man, how do you challenge these guys? Thanos is the answer to that question.
All right. How about you, D?
I thought it was rather telling. I heard about the casting on the radio this morning.
Okay.
Like mainstream news radio, which just
Yeah.
floored me. Because they haven't said word one about Guardians of the Galaxy up until now.
Yeah.
So I guess the marketing machine is in motion.
Oh, yeah.
But Josh Brolin, certainly. Yeah, bring him on. Bring him on. I'm surprised they kept it a secret this long, quite honestly.
And I guess this bodes well that we'll get Infinity Gauntlet for Avengers 3, Thanos being the big villain for that.
I hope so.
Because we got the Ether in Thor: The Dark World. We have the cube,
Tesseract.
the Tesseract. So here we go. We have Ultron in 2, and now Thanos, facing off.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm super excited, guys.
I can't wait to see what breadcrumbs lead us from Guardians of the Galaxy into
Yes.
the Avengers. There's just so much going on here. And the Avengers, of course, we should be seeing the twins.
Yes.
The Strucker-held twins. And I'm excited about that, too.
Yes. Gamora, Nebula. I'm super excited.
Did you read the Prelude comic?
I did not.
Okay, the Prelude comic, the first issue, it is entirely possible for comic fans to read Guardians of the Galaxy Prelude. It's cinematic universe, so it is actually tied to the movie. The first one spotlights Gamora, and it's a story unto itself. The second one spotlights Rocket Raccoon. You do not have to read them sequentially. You can if you so choose. But it is a good way to learn some of these more obscure characters. Some of us, like myself, are very familiar with them. Others of you might be newcomers coming into the Guardians. So definitely pick that up, though. Marvel has done a very good job with the cinematic universe preludes and tie-ins.
Definitely.
So it gives a comic segue into the greater film.
So super excited about that film, but I just recalled what's coming out this Friday, Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise.
Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise. Now, I'm not sure how much I can say as yet, but there is a review coming out on comicsonline.com. It might be extremely favorable. I can't say yet. But it might be extremely, extremely favorable.
To me, it looks like a sci-fi Groundhog Day, minus the Bill Murray.
Yes,
Which would have been
does.
awesome to see Bill Murray in one of those suits. Then that would have been a classic.
That might be really good. That's a Blu-ray extra right there.
There you go. All right, guys. Any other comments? Flashback Comics? Troy David Phillips?
Well, all I can say is that there will be some upcoming sales events here at Flashback Comics. We have done the big promotion with the golden tickets. No one has brought any of those back to me yet, though, so it tells me you people aren't looking at your back issues. I've actually seen a lot of back issues go out of here. There are 5 $50 gift certificates in 5 of those random back issues. So, hey, open those up, read them, see if you got one. There will be some other upcoming sales, though, in the month of June, so stay tuned to our Flashback Facebook page and see what's up and coming here. We'll have some surprises for you.
Any other upcoming stuff from Comics Online?
Well, it is June now, June 2014, and what I promised before was that the Comics Online podcast would return, so it is coming back this month. Comics Online podcast returns. Check it out on iTunes, and of course, like us on Facebook.
Like us on Facebook.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter. But we're not there yet. We still got D to go.
And
that's
follow
his
D.
thing. He's trying to. Comics Online is taking over. All right,
Yeah,
D.
see this right here? This is Thor, God of Thunder, and Kevin is trying to steal him off my
Feel the
back.
thunder. D is in the house. Totally Random Fandom. What's going on with you guys? When do you drop your new shows?
We drop our new shows every Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Usually at about 2 or 3 o'clock.
All right.
And this week is a catch-up week. We're catching up on our backlog. Thank you to everybody who's been commenting on our website and on Facebook.
All right.
Coming up is the Day Late Dollar Short Edition featuring Captain America the Winter Soldier.
All right.
So stay tuned for that.
Okay. I'm going to have to take you guys out because, I worked on the set. I actually been to, because I worked on the film, all the various locations. The house that was Steve Rogers' house in the film, not too many people know the address to that place.
And that's here
I
locally.
can take y'all, yes.
Nice.
I can take y'all and we can go take some
Can we
pictures.
jump
I've
out
been
the
meaning to
window?
do that.
Can we jump out the
I don't think we
window?
can jump out the window, but I've been
Let's do
meaning to go to the house and take pictures in front of the house.
All right.
Because I didn't work on that specific set, but I have the Q stuff for that. So anyway, comicsonline.com, Kevin Goswan, totallyrandomfandom.com, my man D. Beisch in the house, Flashback Comics and Games. Tell them what they got to do, Troy.
You got to like us on Facebook,
Like us on Facebook,
follow us on Twitter,
follow us on Twitter,
and subscribe to us on YouTube.
subscribe on YouTube to Totally Random Fandom, Comics Online, Flashback Comics, and Patrick Strange, y'all. Temple Far East Entertainment in the house. I am Patrick Michael Strange, Troy David Phillips, Kevin Goswan, D. Beisch, my man Marc on the camera, Team M Squared is in the house. Live, breathe, create, and we're out of here, y'all.
Live, breathe, create.
Deuces.
Peace.
Once upon a time, not so long ago. We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Have full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna make you cry. Never gonna say goodbye. DGU Con is coming to the DC Convention Center August 16th and 17th. There will be tournaments, a free-to-play arcade room, costume contest, panel discussions, celebrity gaming event, never-before-seen games, and other fun activities for the whole family. Get your tickets today.